Daf Yomi Tractate Sanhedrin, page 99b. Top of the page, the last three words of the previous page or Amud was Rabbi Akiva Omer. Rabbi Akiva says, and now starting on 99b with the words Zamer B'chol Yom, Zamer B'chol Yom. Rabbi Akiva says that sing every day, meaning review your studies like a song that one sings over and over. Amar Rav Yitzchak bar Avudimi, Ma'ikra shenemar nefesh amal. Amla lo ki akaf alav pihu hu amal b'makom zeh v'soraso omeres lo b'makom acher. Rav Yitzchak bar Avudimi says, from what verse is this derived? As it is stated, the hunger of the laborer labors for him, for his mouth presses upon him. Proverbs 16:26. Meaning he exhausts his mouth through his constant review and study. He labors in Torah in this place, in this world, and his Torah labors for him in another place, the world to come. Amar Rabbi Elazar, b'kol adam le'amal nivra, shene'emar ki adam le'amal yulad, en yodea im le'amal peh nivra, im le'amal melacha nivra, כשהוא אומר, כי יחף עליו פיהו, הווי אומר לעמל פה נברא, ועדיין אין יודע, אם לעמל תורה, אם לעמל שיחה, כשהוא אומר, לא ימוש ספר תורה הזה מפיך, הווי אומר לעמל תורה, נברא, והיינו דאמרove, כולהו גופי דירוף דקה, נינו טובי לדיז זכה, Rabbi Elazar says, every man was created for labor. As it is stated, man is born for toil. Job 5 verse 7. Based on this verse, I do not know whether he was created for toil of the mouth, meaning speech, or whether he was created for toil of labor. When the verse states, for his mouth presses upon him, Proverbs 16:26, you must say, he was created for the toil of the mouth. And still, I do not know with regard to the toil of the mouth whether it is for the toil of Torah or for the toil of conversation. When the verse states, this Torah scroll shall not depart from your mouth, Joshua 1:8, you must say that he was created for the toil of Torah. And that is the meaning of what Rava said. All bodies are like receptacles to store items until use. Happy is the one who is privileged, who is a receptacle for Torah. Noef isha chasar lev, amar ish lakish zeh lomed toira leprakim, shenemar ki na'im ki tishmereim bevitnecha yekono yachtav al savatecha. The verse states, he who commits adultery with a woman lacks understanding. Proverbs 6:32. Reish Lakish says this is a reference to one who studies Torah intermittently, who is like an adulterer who sins with the other woman intermittently, as it is stated about words of Torah, for it is a pleasant thing if you keep them within your belly. Let them be established on your lips. Proverbs 22:18. And keep Torah always available. Tanu Rabbana v'hanefesh asher taseh biyad Rama ze Menashe ben Chizkiah shehaya yoshev v'doresh b'hagado shel Dofi. The sages taught in Braita that with regard to the verse, but the person who acts high-handedly, whether he is born in the land or a stranger, that person blasphemes the Lord. Numbers 15:30. This is a reference to Menashe ben Chizkiah, king of Israel, who would sit and teach flawed interpretations of Torah narratives. Amar, V'chi lo haya lo למשה לכתוב, אלא ואחות לוטן תמנע, ותמנע הייתה פלגש לאליפז, וילך ראובן בימי קציר חיטים, וימצא דודאים בשדה, יצא בת קול, ואמרה לו, תשב באחיך, תדבר בבן אמך, תיתן דופי, אלה עשית והחרשתי, דימית היות אהיה כמוך, הוכיחך, או חיכך erecha le'enecha. Menashe said, but did Moses need to write only insignificant matters, that teaching nothing? For example, and Lotan's sister was Timnah. Genesis 36:22. Or, and Timnah was a concubine to Eliphaz, son of Esav. Genesis 36:12. Or, and Reuben went in the days of the wheat harvest and found Dudaim in the field. Genesis 30:14. A divine voice emerged and said to him, you sit and speak against your brother. You slander your own mother's son. These things you have done, and should I have kept silence, you would imagine that I was like you. But I will reprove you and set the matter before your eyes. Psalms 50:20-21. The verses in the Torah are not empty matters, with regard to which you can decide their import. ועליו מפורש בקבלה, הומוש חייבון מחבלי השווא, חייבו העגל החטוא. מהי חייבו העגל? אומר רבי אסי, יצר הרע בתחילה דומה לחוט של קוביה, ולבסוף דומה לאבות העגלה. And about Menashe ben Chizkiah, it is stated explicitly in the text of tradition and the prophets, woe unto them who draw iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin as with a cart rope. Isaiah 5:18. What is the meaning of the phrase, as with a cart rope? Rabbi Asi says this is a reference to the evil inclination. Initially it seems like a flimsy spinning thread, and ultimately it seems like a sturdy cart rope. דעשננה מהסחות לוטן תמנע, מהי תמנע? בת מלכים הווה. תכתיב אלוף לוטן, אלוף תמנע. וכל אלוף מלכותה בלה תאגה היא. Menashe began mocking a few verses and ultimately violated the entire Torah. The Gemara asks, with regard to that verse that we came to discuss, in any event, what is the significance of the phrase in the verse, and Lotan's sister was Timnah? The Gemara explains Timnah was the daughter of kings, as it is written, the chief of Lotan, Genesis 36:29, and the chief of Timnah, Genesis 36:40. And each chief is a member of a monarchy, albeit without a crown. That is why they are called chief and not king. Baya le'agure bata etzel Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, velo kibluha. Halacha v'haita pilegesh le'Eliphaz ben Esav amra, mutav tehe shivcha le'uma zo, velo tehe gevira le'uma acheret. Nafak mina Amalek דצרינו לישראל, מהי תימה? דלא יבאילו לרחוקה. Timnah sought to convert. She came before Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they did not accept her. She went and became a concubine of Eliphaz, son of Esau, and said, referring to herself, it is preferable that she will be a maidservant for this nation, and she will not be a nobleman for another nation. Ultimately, Amalek, son of Eliphaz, emerged from her, and that tribe afflicted the Jewish people. What is the reason that the Jewish people were punished by suffering at the hand of Amalek? It is due to the fact that they should not have rejected her when she sought to convert. Therefore, the verse is significant. Vayelech Reuven mimikzir chitim. Amar Rav Beravi Yitzchak. Amar Rav Mikan Tzadikim. שאין פושטין ידיהן בגזל וימצא דודאים בשדה. מאי דודאים? אמר רב יברוכי לוי. אמר סיגלה. Rabbi Yonatan Amar Seviske. And Reuben went in the days of the wheat harvest. Genesis 30, verse 14. Rav, the son of Yitzchak, says that Rav says, from here it can be seen that the righteous do not extend their hands to engage in robbery even of small items, as rather than taking wheat, Reuben took only the ownerless dudaim. The verse continues, and he found dudaim in the field. The Gemara asks, what are dudaim? Rav says they are a plant called yavruchi. Levi says they are violets. Rabbi Yonatan says they are seviske. Amar Rabbi Alexandrai, Korazik B'Toyer Lishma, Mesim Shalom, B'Pavali Shemalahu B'Pavali Shalmata, Shnemar, O Yechazek B'Ma'uzim, Yaseh Shalom Li, Shalom Yaseh Li. Apropos the significance of Torah study, Rabbi Alexandri says anyone who engages in the study of Torah for its own sake introduces peace into the heavenly entourage above and into the earthly entourage below, as it is stated, or let him take hold of my stronghold, that he may make peace with me, and he shall make peace with me. Isaiah 27:5. One who observes the Torah, which is called Oz, introduces peace even before the presence of God, as it were. Rav Amar Ki'ilu Bana Palterin Shel Mala V'Shel Mata Shenemar V'Asim Devarai V'Picha V'Tzel Yadi Kisiticha Nindoa Shemayim V'Sod Haaretz Rabbi Yochanan Amar Af Megin Al Kol Ha'olam Kulo Shene'emar V'Tzel Yadi Kisiticha V'Levi Amar Af Mikarev Et HaGeula Shene'emar V'Le'mor L'Tzion Ami Ata. Rav says it is as though he built a palace of heaven above and earth below, as it is stated, and I have placed my words in your mouth, and I have covered you in the shadow of my hand, to plant the heavens and lay the foundations of the earth, and say to Zion, you are my people. Isaiah 51:16. One who has the word of God placed in his mouth through Torah study has established heaven and earth. Rabbi Yochanan says, one who engages in Torah study also protects the entire world. As it is stated, and I have covered you in the shadow of my hand. And Levi says, he also advances the coming of the redemption, as it is stated, and say to Zion, you are my people. Amar Reish Lakish, kol amaram es ben chavero. Torah ma'ale alav hakasuv, ki'ilu asahu, shene'emar v'et hanefesh asher asu becharan. Rabbi Elazar omer, ki'ilu asa'an. לדברי תורה, שנאמר, ושמרתם את דברי הברית הזאת, ועשיתם אותם. רב אמר, כאילו עשהו לעצמו, שנאמר, ועשיתם אותם, אל תקרא אותם, אלא אתם. Reish Lakish said, with regard to anyone who teaches Torah to the son of another, the verse ascribes him credit as though he formed that student, as it is stated, and Abraham took Sarai his wife, and the souls that they formed in Haran, Genesis 12, verse 5. They are giving credit for forming the students whom they taught Torah. Rabbi Elazar says, it is as though he fashioned the words of Torah themselves, as it is stated, observe the words of this covenant, Va'asitem otam, Deuteronomy 29:8, indicating that studying the Torah is like fashioning it. Rava says, it is as though he fashioned himself, as it is stated, Va'asitem otam. Do not read Va'asitem otam, as you shall fashion them. Rather, read it as Va'asitem atem, meaning you shall fashion yourself. Amar Rabbi Abahu, kol hamaseh et chaveru ledavar mitzvah. מראה עליו הכסוף כאילו לא עשה, שנאמר אמרתך אשר הכית בו את היאור, וכמו שהכית, הכהו, הלא אהרון הכהו, אלא לא מלאך, כל המעשה את חברו לדבר מצווה, מעלה עליו הכתוב כאילו עשה. Rabbi Abahu says, with regard to anyone who causes another to engage in a matter of mitzvah, the verse describes him credit as though he performed it himself, as it is stated, and the Lord said to Moses, and your rod with which you struck the river, take in your hand and go. Exodus 17:5. And was it Moses who struck the river? But isn't it written explicitly in Exodus 7:19 that Aaron struck the river? Rather, that verse serves to tell you, anyone who causes another to engage in a matter of mitzvah, the verse ascribes him credit as though he himself performed it. Apikorus. Rav ורבי חנין אמרי, תרוויו זה מבאז יותר מן חכם, Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi Amri, the Mishnah teaches that those who have no share in the world to come conclude not be chorus. Rav and Rabbi Chanina both say this is one who treats a Torah scholar with contempt. Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi say this is one who treats another with contempt before a Torah scholar. The Gemara asks, granted, according to the one who says that one who treats another with contempt before a Torah scholar is the apikoros mentioned in the Mishnah. One who treats a Torah scholar with contempt is characterized as one who interprets the Torah inappropriately due to his lowering of the status of a Torah scholar. But according to one who says that one who treats a Torah scholar himself with contempt is the apikoros mentioned in the Mishnah, how would he characterize one who interprets the Torah inappropriately? Like what individual does such a person conduct himself? He is like Menashe, the son of Chizkiah, who would teach flawed interpretations of Torah narratives. B'ika dimasnila asefa migala pani b'tayra Rav Rabbi Chanina Amri Zeh hamevazi Talmid Chacham Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi Amri Zeh hamevazi Chaver Rabbi Talmid Chacham. And there are those who teach this dispute with regard to the latter clause of the Braise. From here, Rabbi Elazar Hamudai said, one who interprets the Torah inappropriately has no share in the world to come. Rav and Rabbi Chanina say, this is one who treats a Torah scholar with contempt. Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi say, this is one who treats another with contempt before a Torah scholar. Amar Yosef Kegon Hani de Amri Mai Ahano Lan Rabbanan Ledidhu Karu Ledidhu Tenu. The Gemara asks, granted, according to one who says that the one who treats a Torah scholar himself with contempt is the one mentioned in the Brisa who interprets the Torah inappropriately. One who treats another with contempt before a Torah scholar is characterized as the apikoros mentioned in the Mishnah, but according to the one who says that one who treats another with contempt before a Torah scholar is the one mentioned in the Brisa who interprets the Torah inappropriately, how would he characterize the apikoros mentioned in the Mishnah? Like whom does he conduct himself? Rabbi Yosef says it is referring to one who conducts himself like those who say, in what manner have the sages benefited us with all their Torah study? They read the Bible for their own benefit, and they study the Mishnah for their own benefit. So how are we doing on time here? 18 minutes right there. Okay. Amalei Abaye. Oh, we're just about done. Nice. Amalei Abaye. Hai megale panim etoyre. Nami hu dichtiv. Im lo bris yom v'layla chukol shemayim v'aretz. Lo isamti. Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak b'yachanami shema mino shene'emar v'nesati l'chol hamakom b'avuraham. Abai said to him, that person who questions the benefit provided by sages is also in the category of one who interprets the Torah inappropriately, since with that statement he repudiates the Torah itself, as it is written, if not for my covenant, I would not have appointed day and night, the laws of heaven and earth. Jeremiah 33:25. The eternal covenant of the Torah is responsible for maintaining the existence of the entire world. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak says, from here too conclude the same concept from it, as it is stated, if I find in Sodom 50 just men within the city, then I will spare the entire place for their sakes. Genesis 18:26. The righteous protect the place where they reside. Ela kagoin Yosef kamid Rabbi v'nafalesh mate beduchta achriti v'amar hachi amrinan hasam v'lo amar hachi amar mar Rava amar kigon Hanidve Binyamin Asiyad Yamri Mai Ahanulan Rabbanan Yolam. Rather, the Epicurus mentioned in the Mishnah is referring to one who conducts himself like one who sits before his teacher, and a halacha that he learned from another place happens to fall into his consciousness, and the student says, "This is what we say there," and he does not say differentially, "This is what the master said," even if he did not learn that matter from his teacher. Rava said that the term Epicurus is referring to one who conducts himself like those from the house of Benjamin the doctor, who say, "In what manner have the sages benefited us with all their Torah study?"